that would mean that it's time to get into it a little bit. Previously, the group of you had trekked through the Pinwood, unprepared for such dangerous expedition, in a hot pursuit of arsonists that had burned your home, Aeolus. The footprints had vanished long ago, but there were sigils emblazoned upon tree trunks here and there. As you pushed deeper and deeper, you were pseudo-ambushed by the physician Fro Tea Dance, who seemed to be having difficulty saying something and led you down a series of clues as best she could before expiring herself. Unknown cause. She was rapidly decomposed over the night, and when you woke, she was a gaunt shell of her remains. You pushed onwards, as some of the sigils seemed to have vanished upon the trees, and found yourself at the cliff that has been the star of not one, not two, but now three of Willem's dreams, if I recall correctly. This cliffside held a secret. There was a small ledge, iron rings, hammered into this limestone, that upon a dangerous foray upon this precipitous fall, you were able to string a rope between them. And one by one, after a manner of fashion, Siegfried was able to wild shape, so that made it a lot easier. Make your way to a outcropping of rock, a small ledge, not more than about 6 feet in total diameter, but that led to a crack in the stone face of the cliffs here. The stone crack opened into a wider area and sloped downwards to a stone door. Upon the door there was a figure 8 style Venn diagram, 2 overlaid circles. One of the doors was ajar. You pressed inside and found a worked stone structure. A hideaway of some sort? Who knows? And started exploring the area. Throughout the space, firstly found the remnants of a old trap. It seems like darts that were designed to impact intruders. The trap had long since been sprung and was never reset. You found supplies good for several months' worth of food and lodging here. As uncomfortable as this place appears to be, the necessary things are here. You pushed onwards down the hallway and triggered a speaking voice as you entered through a second set of doors. As this voice concluded, words none of the group of you have ever heard previously, there's a slick, slopping sound that's dropping from the ceiling. A cube of semi-translucent jelly just sort of landed and quivered, and then shifted towards some of you. You fought off the gelatinous cube, successfully breaking the energy that sort of holds its surface tension together, and just watched it melt away into a pool of nothingness. Onward still, you found a pressure-plated trap that released a series of zombies. A good dozen of them from individual crofts. You found a lever to disable said trap. However, seems like part of this was also a slowly creeping along the ground flow of smoke that lasted for some unknown duration, from what you can tell. Semi-acidic in nature. This was a great bit of cacophonous noise, and you did find what appears to be a sleeping chamber with more supplies, although these have been broken into and begun to be used. The clear implication someone or someones are living here. Your suspicions were confirmed as you moved to the next space. I believe you short rested. But you moved past the crofts where the undead came from previously. Opened a door into a large chamber. Let me describe this space for you. You gaze before you at a large room with massive 5-foot square columns supporting the vaulted ceiling overhead, about 20 to 25 feet, 25 in the center. The columns themselves each have a beautiful teardrop-shaped piece of glass, clutched in an iron coil, about 10 feet off the ground, on each of their 4 faces. These teardrops contain no recognizable fuel, yet have a slowly flickering blue flame contained within. To the right as you enter, there's an altar with steps leading up to it, and upon the altar there's a collection of swirling shapes, leaping and clawing at the space, shifting, forming before falling back into the pool of a surface that this thing has. So it gives you the appearance of fish in a feeding frenzy. Your suspicions were confirmed also as you entered the room, stepping forward. On the far side, opposite you, there is a half-elven male. Dressed smartly. A look of grim determination upon his face, as he hefted a greatsword, nicked himself, and the sword was emblazoned with fire. And this is where we're picking up. Let me move you guys to a map. And I need everyone to roll initiative, please. I think we're missing 1 in initiative, correct?
Yeah, Willem.
Willem, are you there? I'll get Hellerast initiative.
If you're talking, we can't hear you.
I think he's muted right now. Oh.
Hey, sorry, I am having some connection issues, so.
Oh no.
No, that's bad.
No good. I'll roll you into initiative in the meantime, then.
I'll get it. If you just give me 1 moment.
Sure.
I jumped on my phone, but the music thing was like stupid loud. Actually, you might have to do it for me. Oh wait, nope, my character sheet just actually pulled up. There we go.
7. Perfect.
Oh, man, I totally should have had you do it.
Nah.
No, he rolled a 1.
Yeah. All right. That'll get us started with Aeolus. As you stare at the half-elven man in front of you, the fire being shed from the greatsword he carries. What are you doing?
Aeolus's eyes narrow as he also will activate his Crimson Right. And he'll take a step forward. Where do you hail from? And I'll hold my action.
What are you holding?
I'm going to hold an attack with my Great Spear.
Okay, and what's your trigger for the held action?
If the individual comes within reach violently.
Okay, noted. Holding an attack for that. It is the half-elf and man's turn. We don't come from many places, but it's really who we come for. As he's looking at you, Aeolus, and he should make me a strength saving throw. Do you have disadvantage on the strength save at the moment?
I do not.
You do not. Okay, perfect. And you did take damage for your Crimson Right, correct? Perfect. As he's sort of looking at you, you feel this sapping ability on your limbs. You feel like it's hard to push against stuff for a moment before you overcome this barrier. Seems like he tried to affect you with something. And he's aware it did not work on you. He is going to step in and try to make an attack against you. You do still have your reaction, so you can make your attack roll as well.
Righty.
He has... Alright, 19 does hit him. That is 8 points of piercing and 3 points of lightning damage. Nice, 11 total. Okay. As he steps in, he sort of like leans into the blow a little bit, knowing that you're holding this ready. You tag him on the shoulder before he rolls out of it and uses that opening of throwing himself onto your spear a little bit to make a hard jab with his greatsword. As you can feel the sword coming towards you, you feel your heartbeat pulsing, and you see his grin snarl even more. That's going to be a 15 to hit you.
It doesn't hit, but I have a question. At last session, did I say that I threw my shield down? I forget.
I don't think you had your shield out.
Right. Yeah.
You didn't.
Okay.
You didn't throw it down. I think you still have it, but you don't have your shield on currently, if I recall correctly.
All right. Yeah. Right. Yep. So that hits.
That hits. Okay.
Yeah.
That is 12 points of slashing and 6 points of fire.
Okay.
He rolled really well in damage. He rolled.
That was a little unexpected. I'm not gonna lie.
That's going to bring us to Dunnan.
Dunnan will move forward. We'll flank him. We'll see. Did you kill the lander, lad? Say now, and this can be quick. And I will attack him with my axe. With
Nice.
advantage.
Alrighty. 23 will hit. Jeez. Yeah. 11 points of slashing damage. As you sort of slice open his back, he turns towards you, bloodlust in his eyes. He seems enraptured by this. Anything else done?
I grin back. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, go ahead. All
Oh,
right.
that's it.
Alrighty. After you, appearing from her perch. You all hear the straining of rope for a moment and look up about 20 feet high, almost near the ceiling, in a makeshift sling sort of propped against one of the walls. You see a half-elven woman, looks similar to the man, about the same age also, who pulls back her bow for a moment. No arrow contained within. And as she looses the bowstring, there's a flash of light. And 4 darts streak out towards the group. Woohoo. Alright, that'll be, pardon me. 1 dart streaks towards Dunnan, 1 towards Siegfried, 1 towards Hellerast, and 1 towards Willem. Each of you take 5 points of force damage.
Oh, that's such a cool way to cast magic missile.
She didn't say anything either. That'll be her turn as we come around to Siegfried.
Okay, let me see what I can do. Sorry, it's been a while.
All good. You did short rest, so you do have both your wild shapes available to you.
Yep, I see that. First, I'm gonna step up to Aeolus, and I'm gonna put a level 2 cure wounds into you.
Okay.
With my action.
I think also of note, you are currently carrying a torch, just so you know as well.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Aeolus, you were really low. My gosh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't want him to die right now, I guess. That was a pretty good roll. Yeah.
Oh, good healing. Jeez. That's what you want to see.
Then I am going to move this way and kind of crouch behind the pillar. Where is the lady with the bow and arrow?
She's down here.
Oh, she's over there.
Yeah.
So
you saw the flash of light from the magic missile spell, but now she's vanished into darkness again. There's 2 columns down there that don't have lights on them.
Okay. So for now, I'm just going to hide back here and activate my archer form.
Archer? Okay, noted.
Yeah.
And now you shed light with that, correct?
Yep, and I'm going to drop the torch back here too as well.
Alright. What's the light on the form shedding? Is it 20/20?
I think it's 10/10. Let me check. Yeah, it's 10/10.
10/10?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll drop the torch behind Aeolus right here.
No, you drop the torch. It rolls for a moment and sputters out as it rolls upon the ground. All right, that's bonus action. You've finished your movement. All right, that's everything. We're moving around to Willem. Hellerast on deck.
First of all, welcome back, Dylan. You were missed. Second, so I can see the token down here. Does that mean I can see?
You can target her, yeah.
Yeah.
He was hidden at the start, but yeah, you can see her. Now, just for your edification and everyone else's on the map, any line of sight drawn through a column. So let me. I'm going to use you as an example, Willem. So, this would work fine. but like if the line of sight draws through opposing sides of the column, like this, that would not work.
I was actually going to ask about that. So thank you.
So if you draw any line of sight around, like through two opposite sides of one of the square columns, you don't have line of sight. But a corner of like this, where you're doing left and bottom of that column, it's fine, because I'm going to interpret that as you peek around for a moment to secure that line of sight, and boom, you got it.
Which is perfect. Okay. And you said that she is a half elf?
She looks to be half elven, yes. Not the long ears you usually expect with a full-blooded elf.
So much as myself. All right, so first of all, I'm going to be like, oh, I thought it was going to be our first big duel, but instead there are two. I'm so excited. I'll have to tell Ma and Da about this. But for now, these half-elves have to be dealt with. Clearly, they're not good ones like my family. And we'll target her with a little spell we like to call Case Bold.
Nice. 9.
Ooh.
As you launch this undulating, sort of shifting pattern of energy, she sort of pushes off like she's belaying around the column, and you hear her footsteps hit the back wall over there, but it impacts the far wall where her head would have been blocking it previously.
Hey, hold still. That's not how adventures are supposed to go. And then Willem will take a step forward to hopefully block the line of sight. And we'll kind of crouch down, but not go prone, if that makes sense. I'm just literally going to try to hide behind this and be like, Ma always told me that a good adventurer stays alive by safety. Safety first. Everybody safety first. And that is what I got.
All right. That'll bring us to Hellerast's turn. Hellerast is going to sort of reorient here to here. And she's going to call out for Corwin to come and aid. Which will also try to prevent the half-elf from approaching her. So Corwin is summoned, but can't attack this round yet. That's Hellerast's bonus action for the Spirit Companion. And then Hellerast, as her action, will cast Bless at 2nd level. And include Dunnan, Aeolus, herself, and Willem. Everyone except Siegfried. So mark down Bless on your respective sheets. And she's concentrating on that. And we come around to Aeolus.
Aeolus is going to take a two-handed strike.
Ooh, yeah, 25 is definitely gonna hit. That is 14 points of damage.
And then
when you impact him with this blow, it sort of beats his chest a little bit, really like amping himself up. He seems to be injured. Like, he does not seem to be great, but he seems to be relishing in this.
Awesome. And then as Aeolus spins using the momentum of that, he is perfect. Aeolus will throw out his offhand and will attempt to blood curse of binding the female half elf.
Oh, so now she has to make a strength saving throw. That's a 0.
Awesome.
She fails. Yep. No reactions. Speed 0. Are you amplifying?
I am not.
Okay. I figure not, just because you didn't say anything, so
Yeah.
all good though. All right. So she can't move, and no reactions. All right. Nice. I like it.
Alright, and that is the end of my turn.
Wonderful. That'll bring us around to the male's turn. Z cries out, "Yeah, stop worrying about my sister. I'm your opponent." He's going to, as he sort of beats his chest a little bit, sort of amping up his adrenaline, he's going to make a frenzy attack. So this is one greatsword attack on Dunnan. That's a 13 to hit you, Dunnan.
No, sir.
One on
But
Aeolus.
that's the shield.
Pardon?
I
Or is
said I better did away with the shield.
Ah, got it.
You
Uh,
try better to hit me.
One on Corwin, which is a 23, which does hit Corwin, but only deals 8 damage, which is not enough to break her form. And then one on Aeolus, which is a 22 to hit you, Aeolus.
Yeah, that hits.
That is 13 points of damage total, 9 slashing and 4 fire. He lets out this battle cry of pleasure as he's enthralled in this fight. We were waiting for you forever! What took you so long? As we come around to Dunnan.
Does he look at me or at the oldest right now?
He's sort of wheeling his head back and forth, staring at all of the people around him, things around him that are he gets to kill.
I'll look him in the eye and say, "See, you and me were made out of the same wood, but I can assure you, this will be your last fight." And smack him with the axe.
Nice. Ooh, yeah. 23 is definitely gonna hit. That is 14 points of damage to him. As you sort of get a good chunk into his thigh, you see his leg start to buckle a little bit. He looks grievously injured, but he's not acting like it. Yes, more. Anything else done?
Oh, there is more coming from me. You will see. That's it.
That brings us around to her. She's gonna call out, "Alon! Wait!" She's trying to struggle with the rope at the moment. "We need to get out of here! There's too many of them!" She can't move. She's all tangled up in the rope thanks to your blood curse. She is going to use her Spellfire short bow again. She's going to consume a 2nd level spell. And target 1 bolt at all 5 of you. Actually, she might not be able to see Willem. I'm going to say she can't see Willem. It's going corner to corner. So that means...
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
Woot woot.
That means Dunnan gets to it, though.
Yoo-hoo.
Alright. Ooh, alright. So, Dunnan, 4 damage. Aeolus, 2 damage. Siegfried, 2 damage. And Hellerast, 2 damage.
Even with 2 darts?
Yeah, she rolled a 1 plus 1.
Good for me.
Alright, and Hellerast needs to make a concentration check for Bless. DC on this is 10. Yeah, she's fine. And that brings us around to Siegfried.
Okay. Sorry, okay? I'm not muted. All
Yep,
right.
you're good. Yep.
Siegfried is going to run up because Aeolus is almost dying again. I'm gonna move over here, and I am going to reach out and do a level 1 cure wounds on Aeolus.
Okay.
I have to fix my spell slots. So 7 hit points, Aeolus.
Thank
And
you, much appreciated.
since I'm in archer form with a bonus action, I'm going to launch. You see, like Siegfried kind of pull back, and he sort of has like a spectral bow, like a short bow made out of light, and he's gonna try and hit Corin, or no, the thing next to Corin, with his archer form attack.
The half elf that Aeolus and Dunnan are dueling.
Yep.
Yeah, go for it. Ooh, 23 will definitely hit. 5 points of radiant. As it's sort of this gentleman's just looking at Dunnan, enthralled by the wounds that he's sustaining. Like this bolt impacts him, like sort of right under the rib cage, and then fades, like with that sort of almost like sparkling energy vanishing into the ether, leaving a gaping wound that starts oozing dark, thick blood. Good wound.
Yep. And that is my turn.
All right. At the end of your turn, well, after your turn, there's a grinding sound coming from the north of the room, which would actually be west on the overall map, but north of this room, the opposite the altar, and a voice sort of rings out in the space. Hilnia, I hired you not to run. I hired you to kill them. As stepping from a section of the wall, sort of brushing her garments a little bit, definitely not limping, is
This
Mayor
fucking bitch.
Tidell.
This fucking bitch. She's gonna die.
Of course. The mayor.
She is going to bring her hand around in a moment and sort of across her chest, starting on one side and going out wide. And as she moves it across, a thin stiletto-style longsword appears in her hand. And dark shadows cloak Hellerast's form, as she is now subjected to Hex. And
I don't
Tidell will...
know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nope. I'm just talking to myself.
Okay. Tidell will close the rest of the distance. Start with an attack with her Mindbane longsword. That is a 15 to hit Hellerast, which does not hit. And her. Then, as she makes this sort of stab towards Hellerast, from the hilt of the sword, bolts of energy sort of ricochet out, bouncing around the room, making 3 additional attacks towards other people. These are at disadvantage because it is ranged. There it is. So that'd be Willem. 2 of them are going at you. First one, you dodge a natural 20 because Hellerast was not pushed back. So that's a 21 to hit you. Second one's a 17. And then one
17
at
misses.
Dunnan. 17 misses. Dunnan, natural 1. Dunnan's getting very
And the
lucky.
other one,
21 hits.
I disbelieve in. It's not real. It wasn't a real attack.
You take 3 points of force damage.
That's also not real.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Take back.
As we come around to Willem, what'll it be?
How does he have higher AC than me? Holy shit.
Willem will look down at the scorch marks, I'm assuming, from these things and say, Mayor, how could you? Mother did always say that it's always those who are in power. Anyways, and we'll kind of like flick his arm down while incanting a spell, and a shadow blade will pop forth into his well manicured hand. We'll step forth. I am sorry, Mayor, but you have attacked me and my new friends, and for that, I will have to do this. I'm sorry, was I blessed, by the way?
You are blessed, yes. Everyone except Siegfried got blessed.
I thought so. There it is. So I suppose I will add something to my attempted strike.
Yeah, plus a d4.
Boop.
Yeah, 19 hits. Go for damage. Ooh, 12 points of psychic damage. Nice. As your blow impacts, it sort of passes through her form a little bit. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, you can do that.
That is a pass. You do take half damage. As the blow erupts, she sort of turns her eyes towards you, this glowing effect sort of trailing behind, and she speaks words that you don't know that sort of ring in your head and then vanish from your memory as purple flames sort of wreath up around you. You dodge in time, barely getting singed. You take 10 points of fire damage, reduced to half, which is 5 from Hellish Rebuke. And I need a Constitution saving throw for concentration. DC's 10. You're good. That brings us around to Hellerast.
Bless is doing me well.
Yeah. Where's Hellerast's sheet? There it is. Hellerast is going to start by having Corwin try to start work on the mayor. She can move Corwin 20 feet and trigger a Spirit Strike attack. Doesn't have disadvantage, so that's a 13. I need to change her sheet off disadvantage. 13 with the Bless, but that is not enough to hit the mayor, as it's just sort of parried by some magical ward. And Hellerast will look around the space. She doesn't have a lot right now. She spent a second level already. She's going to cast Armor of Agathis on herself at second level. So she's going to give herself 10 temporary hit points. As frost sort of coats Hellerast's form. And that's going to bring us to Aeolus.
Aeolus is going to, again, two-handed strike. I think in the moment he hasn't recognized that the mayor's in the room. He's just focused on this at the moment.
Okay. Go for the strike. Oh, there we go. Just popped up. Alright, so yeah, 24 definitely hits. That's 10 points of damage. How do you want to do this?
Aeolus is going to parry the great sword, and he'll use that momentum to turn away from the male half-elf and stick the great spear into his sternum, and he'll just fist it as he just leaves it in there.
As the man's laughing, he just can't, like, severed some part of his throat and is having trouble like exhaling to continue this maniacal, eerie effect. And sort of topples over. You hear that woman that's up on the column call, "No!" Anything else, Aeolus?
Aeolus is going to just dart his eyes up towards the other half elf, and then just looks up and sees where Hellerest's attention is focused. So tell me, is Storm Surge also in on this?
That
And
brings
that's my
us
turn.
brings us around to Dunnan.
I look down on my prey, look at yours. That one was mine. But I'll take the other half elf. And not worrying with the mayor, just straight runs down to the other half elf.
Okay.
Don't you worry, you will join your brother soon enough.
She is up high. She's 20 feet in the air.
Oh, she's in the air.
Yeah, she has a
Oh.
little sort of rope sling around that column there.
Okay.
That's
Sorry, I didn't.
that she used to gain altitude. Because she is an archer.
Okay, it's done. Scratch that. I didn't know that. So, what I will do is see the mayor and say, "Mayor, what are you doing here? We don't need any more of your stew." And seeing that she's a played out, will assert this situation. Just get the picture and hack at her.
Yeah. Ooh, 22 will hit. That is 11 points of damage. As you impact her. Yeah. Pathetic. Anything else done?
It still hurts. Even a pathetic hit. That's it.
At the end of your turn, you feel the shadows coil around you also, as you are also affected by Hex.
Okay.
Alright, that's her legendary action. That brings us around to Hildnir. You killed him! She pulls back her bow, as she sort of belays around the column. Shifts in her position to get a good line of sight on you, Aeolus. And she's going to sort of take aim at you for a moment as she draws back an actual arrow. And she makes 2 attacks with her bow with Hunter's Mark. First one is a 16. Second is a 9.
Misses.
Alright, that is 11 points of damage total.
Aeolus is on the floor.
You can die like him then. As she's in that position, she's quite comfortable in the altitude. Come around to Siegfried. As Aeolus is down and bleeding.
Damn it, Aeolus. If I was going to drag his body, how far could I move?
Half movement.
So could I potentially move and drag his body with me to this pillar?
Yeah.
Okay,
That'd be
that is
fine.
what I'm.
Yeah, it's going to be your action to sort of truss him up
Yeah.
and grab him.
Oh,
But
if
you
it's
could-
going to be my action, then no. Because I still want to cast my spell.
Fine, I'm fine. I'm good.
I'm going to just cast a Cure Wounds on him
Okay.
with my action. And honestly, it might still. I'm doing really well with these rolls today, but
Yeah, oh my gosh.
And, I was like, Ayla's someone needs to help Willem, and then I need to I move over here. I don't see her yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still don't see her. Oh, I see her here. I see her here.
Yep. I would give her a 3/4 cover
Okay.
due to the fact that you can just barely see her form shifting in the shadow there. It's right on the edge of like your radius of light.
Yeah.
So she does have a bonus to your AC if you want to make an arrow attack, though.
I move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I can move one more square. Just gonna step one more forward. And I'm just gonna launch an arrow at her.
All right, now I'm only going to give her half cover. You got more of her in your radius of light.
Yeah,
She is
and
up high, but you do shed a
And
lot.
I'm kind of purposely moving on a cover because I want to keep her focus on me and not Aeolus.
I like it.
So I'm gonna try and make myself an easier target.
Yeah, I mean, you're a glowing beacon of a target,
Yeah,
so...
yeah, with the starry bow. Oh, I missed that time.
Oh, yeah. As she sort of pays attention to the light moving, she sees where you're going, and pushes her feet against the back wall and sort of planks up in the air for a moment, the arrow shattering against the far column. Anything else, Siegfried?
No, that is my turn.
And that brings us to Mayor Tadell. To start with, she's going to look at you, Dun, and say, "If August can take you for all I care," and sort of taps your chest with her finger, sort of pointing at you, but just because you're close. I need you to make me a charisma saving throw, please.
Oh boy. We've blessed, right? Oh, it doesn't matter.
I mean, you can roll a d4, see if it affects it.
Yeah, you may roll 4.
Yeah. So a 9 is not going to succeed. So you're currently affected by our hex spell. So you feel the shadows sort of shift and take over your movement for a moment. You spend your reaction and sprint 30 feet directly away from her, into the wall.
Oh, great. It is not my style.
Taking 6 points of damage as you sprint headlong into the wall. Oh.
Does it get reduced because of heavy armor master?
I'm gonna say no. It's not a weapon. Like you like lineman like rugby lineman charged into the wall.
Yeah, right. Head on.
Yeah, head on collision. So that's her bonus action.
Always sounds like a small car crash.
Yeah. With her action, she'll start with the Mindbane longsword on Hellerast. That is a 22 to hit her. That hits Hellerast for 12 points of damage, including the hex.
She has Armor of Agathis, right?
She does. So that's going to flash 10 points of damage back to Dell. So...
And she has 10 temporary.
Which just vanished from the 12. So she took 2 points of actual damage there. Which is pretty good. So she's down to 22. And Hellerast has to make a Constitution saving throw to maintain Bless. And she has a D4 penalty on it thanks to the longsword.
Ooh.
Which she has the benefit because of Bless. So, slash roll 1d4. 9 up to 13 for the benefit of Bless. Down to 10 just succeeds on the Bless check for the concentration. So Bless is still going. And then Tadell gets to make 3 Eldritch Blasts as part of the same action. Disadvantage because she has enemies in melee. 2 at Willem, 1 at Hellerast. Alright. That is a 23 on Hellerast, 10 points of force damage. That's a nasty blow. A 12 against you, Willem, and a 16 against you.
That's 16. Misses. Sorry, what was the other?
12.
That one hit me. Just kidding.
There we go. That special number where it's just like right in the navel of the armor. There's a chink in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. The Eldritch Blast focused on you, sort of like go to either side, but the one catches Helleras square in her chest, grunts, and that's another con save for her. As we come around to Willem.
Willem would like click his tongue. That dwarf, that dirty one over there, is my friend, and you will not be mean to him. Only I can pick on him. And we'll, again,
Bless is
stab.
still good. Yeah, go for it.
Or I guess swipe more.
Of course. 23 definitely hits, even without the bless. 6 points of psychic damage. She turns fury in her face again towards you. You deserve to die. As
No,
the
you
flames
do.
once again wreath up around your feet. I need a dexterity saving throw, please. She's going to hellish rebuke you. It's a pass, which is good, because it's 18 points of fire damage reduced to 9 on the
Well,
save.
I still go down.
Oh
have
no!
9 health.
Oh, Willem falls to the ground. You now, notably, you are still blessed. That technically affects death saving throws.
Okay.
All right. As that happens, you drop. Concentration does end on Shadowblade as part of that. We come around to Helleras to cry that no. She's going to try to come around and try to heal you. She has healing spells, I'm not sure. Cure wounds at first level. 8 points of healing for you, Willem. You are prone, but not dying. And then Helleras is going to have Corwin attack the mayor. Spirit Strike. 15 just hits because of the bless. 10 points of force damage as the spider starts actually getting through this magical barrier that the mayor has protecting her. And that'll bring us to Aeolus, prone on the ground. Very bloody.
Aeolus is going to stand and look over at the mayor and look over at the archer. Siegfried, do you have her?
I'll keep her busy. Go help Willem.
And he is going to spend the rest of his movement and is going to attack the mayor.
Yeah. So you had 15 feet remaining, correct?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Just unmark prone on yourself. And go for your attacks. Oh, there we go. 11. As you sort of shamble forward, getting yourself up like a clear hitch in your step. Oh, you're gonna sleep badly tonight. You make a lunge and it just doesn't connect. Like,
And Aeolus is just gonna hook at her. And that's it.
as you just look at her, she's gonna turn around, hearing the crackling of the. Actually, I think your right drops when you go unconscious, doesn't it? Double check it. Hearing the swish of your spear, she's going to turn and just sort of smile wickedly as she points at Helleras, using her legendary action for the round. And Helleras has to make a charisma saving throw. It's the same thing Dunnan did.
So the Crimson Rite says that it lasts until I finish a short or long rest. It doesn't say anything about
Oh, cool.
dropping.
All right.
That's
Sounds good.
strange, though.
Yeah. Helleras gets forced 30 feet away, impacting the wall at an angle, so she takes half damage. So she did not pass that charisma save with a 3.
Oof.
She takes 1 point of damage. And has to maintain concentration on Bless. Bless is good. And that's her legendary action. That brings us to Dunnan.
Alright, Mayor. Sorry, it was not intentional. No more, Mr. Nice Dwarf. I can't forgive you for letting me run through a wall, but hurting my friends, that's too much. Let's see what your guts look about. I'll strike her.
Go for it. Make your attempt.
With advantage, because
Yeah.
I'm flanking.
Ooh,
But,
not that good.
yeah, hold on. As she's managing to escape his strike, he grins at her. Don't you laugh too early. And I will use my channel divinity for a guided strike.
Haha, nice.
I get a +10.
Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. Yeah, 22 will hit. That's gonna be 11 points of damage on the first attack. Well, on the attack. Anything else that you're doing as part of this turn?
No,
Okay.
just seeing what she does.
The 11 points impact. He smiles and looks at you. Alright, that brings us to Hilnia's turn. Sort of sees, Aeolus sees her employer. Or not Aeolus, Siegfried, pardon me. Sees the employer. Helarast. Trying to gauge everything. But the only person currently looking at her is Siegfried. So, she is going to consume her last third level, her second third level spell, as she used it first previously. And use her Spellfire Shortbow again. If my game would actually roll the dice. There we go. Alright. That is 4 points per dart. 5 darts at a second level upgraded to... sorry, my apologies. Yeah, 5 darts. And the second level upgraded to third. So that's going to be 9 points to you, Siegfried. 3 darts at you. 1 dart at Helarast. And 1 dart at Dunnan.
I am going to Stone's Endurance.
Stone's Endurance. Nice.
So I only take 5, I believe.
You take 6, since, double check the wording on Stone's Endurance, because it's different instances of damage. When you would take damage, reduce the number. Yeah, so you completely mitigate one of the darts, but you do still take the other 2. Because they trigger concentration checks separately.
Yeah. It's because of magic missiles. Yeah, it's different than a lot of other things.
Exactly, yeah. Oop, not a
So
dex
I
save.
still take 6.
Oh my god, Helarast is maintaining less like crazy. Yeah, so you still take 6.
Okay.
But still great use. Mitigate some of that.
Okay, I think I was at 22 before.
Yeah, you were.
And now I'm down to 16. Okay, cool. All right.
All right,
How much damage did I take?
I think I marked you by just muscle memory, because I did Helarast already. It was 3 total, but it's force damage, so you don't reduce it.
Okay.
That brings us to Siegfried. Yeah, you went to 19. You were at 22 also, Dunham. So you're at 19 now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I muted myself again. I'm gonna move over here
No
to get a more direct line of sight on her. And then I'm gonna use my starry map to launch my last free guiding bolt at her.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, sorry, I used some of yours previously. they were needed.
It's meant to be used, so it makes sense.
All right, yeah, go for it.
And it helps me save spell slots.
They were all used that I could be healed.
21 hits. Jeez.
And now with my bonus, I think I have advantage on that attack now. 'cause
Yeah,
she's
so
low.
you can consume the advantage immediately. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna pop basically what this looks like. I have my starry form boa, but this time I put 2 arrows in it, and they kind of curve left and right around her.
I like it.
And then
Ooh, good advantage. 17 hits for an additional 7 points of radiant on that. 20 points of damage. Just don't go around.
and then I'm just gonna stay there, just kind of goading her to keep attacking me.
I like it. All right,
Yeah.
that brings us to Mayor Tidell. I'm just going to pull up her stat block. Start with Dunnan. And she's looking around at the group of you. I can't really stand most of you. You all need to die out here for the story to make sense. So, sorry. I think Corwin's unaffected. Willem, Dunnan, and Aeolus. They all need Constitution saving throws, please. As Mayor Tidell sort of twists this very thin longsword in her hand for a moment, and puts it down to the ground and does sort of a pirouette, drawing a circle on the ground. Ooh, great rolls.
Sorry, ignore mine. Was just lagging.
All right, Willem, fantastic save. You succeed. Aeolus, that's a 15. I think that just passes. It does. Okay. And Dunnan, 5 is a failure. Even with your +4, unfortunately. So, Dunnan, you take 18 points of necrotic damage from Circle of Death. Willem, you take 9. Aeolus, you take 9.
Back down to 0.
Yep, Willem is back down.
Oh no. That's not good. Willem, she doesn't get to do anything else that round. Top of your turn, death saving throw, please.
Sorry, how do I do it on these sheets?
You just click death save, and then we'll add a d4 for bless on top of it.
I do not see that. Oh, that is.
Center column, about mid-sheet.
Yeah. Boop.
Oh, it included the bless automatically. Fantastic. That's a success. So that's 1 success.
Fantastic.
Hellrast is going to try to charge forward. She's sort of keeping her back against the wall, seeing how this sort of blast effect works. And she's going to spend her... she spent 1 of those. She's going to spend another spell on Cure Wounds for you, Willem. She has 2 spells left. You pick up 9 healing from Hellrast. Come on, time to get up. No 5 more minutes. And she's going to.
Sleepy.
Corwin will make another attempt with a Spirit Strike. Ooh, Corwin does damage. 8 points of force. And Corwin's going to shift position. That brings us to Aeolus. Ooh, that's a failure, Aeolus.
Nice.
Dunnan, around to you.
Oh boy. He's heavily panting.
You're at 1? What?
I'm not done yet, Mayor.
You're up.
You haven't seen the last of me. I'll go for it.
Yeah. 18 hits. Yeah, definitely. 12 points of damage to Mayor Tidell. She's looking rough. As you're sort of leaving these nicks and cuts, you can see there's like this ward that's like artificially inflating her ability to sustain herself. She doesn't look like a very strong individual, but she's getting hurt. Like looks much worse than any of you have ever seen her. Anything else done?
Any retaliation?
No.
Okay.
All
Then not.
right.
Just getting closer to Aeolus.
Sure. Okay. So you shift to there.
Looking if she's still breathing or not. Just with a quick glance.
I like it. All right, that brings us to Hilnia. Spent her last third level spell, if I recall correctly. Second level spell. She is going to spend a first level and repeat the attack with the Spellfire Shortbow. Everything at you, Siegfried. So she gets 4 darts.
Nice. I am going to do Stone's Endurance again.
Okay. That is 3, 3, 3, and 3. So 12 points total. Stone's Endurance mitigates one of them. So 9 points. As she sort of pulls back, you can see she's sweating. Now that you have good light on her, she's trying to gauge if she needs to move or not. She's wary about getting down. You can see she does slacken the rope around the column a little bit and drops about 10 feet towards the ground as her movement. So she's now 2 squares up. That brings us to you, Siegfried.
Fuck her up.
Yeah, he wants to help Aeolus, but if he runs, she's going to be an issue. So he is going to spend a spell slot to launch another guiding bolt at her.
Ooh, nice. All
I
right.
have one spell slot left.
Oh no.
Uh,
That's all right. Aeolus can just roll a natural 20, right?
Yeah, I
so
will.
That's a 16, I believe.
16 just hits her studded leather armor. Nice. 16 points of radiant.
And
Oh,
then,
it's really good damage.
another archer at her with advantage.
Yeah, go for it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just tagging the AC. Another 6 on top of that. That was a lot of damage in one round. You've had back-to-back rounds of 20 or more damage. Those 2 blows from previous round and this one, you see like a look of fear on her face. Like she was worried when Alon was getting injured. Now there's genuine fear.
Siegfried will just shout out, "Your brother already died on this foolhardy mission. Are you willing to join him? Surrender, and we'll let you live."
All right. And your turn, Siegfried. Meritadell's going to use her legendary action. As Dunnan, you rush over towards Aeolus to check on him, to sort of gauge, he's mine. And opens up her palm and sort of points and flicks towards you. I need a charisma saving throw, please.
From me?
Yep, you're hexed.
Oh no.
She can try to force her movement back towards the wall.
God. Come on, I don't want to nothing against your war.
you lined yourself up with a wall.
God. Please don't let me roll shitty again.
You still have bless.
Oh, come on!
Oh no!
Are you fucking...
You have such a good charisma save too.
Yeah.
Alright, you get launched back 30 feet, impacting the wall. The minimum damage is 1. So... We'll say this time the
Not
shadow
like
just
this.
slides you backwards until you like land flat like starfished against the wall and just sort of collapse down onto the ground there.
I love it. Oh my god, this is great.
Oh my, that was such a positioning one. All right, that brings us to Dell. She's got Corwin next to her, and Corwin has been hurting her a lot, so she's actually going to attack the spider. Oh man, she crits Corwin for 26. That's going to be 14 points of slashing. No hex damage, but 14 is enough to break Corwin's presence. So Corwin vanishes. And then 3 Eldritch Blasts. One at... sorry, I'll go 2 at Hellerast. She does have disadvantage because Willem is conscious and within 5 feet of her. And 1 at Dunnan. Disadvantage on Hellerast. 11 and 13. Both of those miss Hellerast. Disadvantage against Dunnan. 13. No good. That brings us to Willem. They're prone.
On the ground, probably looking rough. Willem will in a gravelly voice. I said the filthy dwarf is mine. I will not pay off his debts because of you.
It all comes back to money.
Yeah. Willem's a little
Ooh,
cheap.
deck save. Here's the description for you, Siegfried.
Yep, I was trying to see.
I know I am. No, she fails that. She got a 7.
Ooh, is that more than 5? 14.
Yeah. Yeah. So, not only does she take the 7 points of necrotic damage, she has to make the save again. She's been rolling great on that. She is grappled. As the coils sort of wrap up her leg, it sort of she does wear like a longer garment, and now it's sort of like put her leg in a sharp relief on one side of the dress. It sort of breaks through parts of the garment. She turns towards you with a fury. Are you still prone, or did you stand up?
No, I'm still prone.
Okay.
But I will try to scuttle. A little moving tool. I'm sure I'll get attack of opportunity, but I'm going to try to scuttle back here.
She is absolutely going to try to attack of opportunity. Oop, that's Hilmia's stat block. Mindbane Longsword. That is an 11 to hit you, even with advantage. Got a natural 1. All right. That'll then bring us.
Once behind the pillar, I'm going to stand up.
Noted. Okay. That'll bring us to Hellerast. I just unmarked that you're prone. As Hellerast. 2 people down. She can't bring Corwin back. She's going to rush over and try to cure wounds you, Aeolus. She's rolling really well in healing also. 8 points for you. And Sailor asks if anything else she can do as a bonus action. I don't think she does. Nope, that's it. That'll bring us to you, Aeolus.
Aeolus is going to stand up and is going to turn to Hellerast and look around and see that Dunnan's out. Focus on him, don't worry about me.
I got him.
And I'm going to attack the mayor.
Okay, go for it.
At advantage because she's grappled?
No, her speed is 0, so she can't flee. But she's not like prone or restrained or anything like that. Still hits either way though. 13 points of damage. As this crackling electricity rips through the space, she winces in sharp pain. She is going to spend. No, she spent her reaction trying to attack Willem. All right. She can't.
Nice.
Yeah. She can't hellish rebuke you. Damn. All right. Anything else, Aeolus?
Aeolus is going to glare and growl at her. So what was it? Did your daughter get pregnant out of wedlock? Or did you force it upon her? And that's his turn.
Okay. End of your turn, Aeolus. She is going to spend one of her legendary action and force Hellerast to make a charisma save. Try to force Hellerast away. Hellerast does pass, though. Let's come around to Dunnan. Dunnan.
Well, death saving throw, right?
Yes, please.
Roll. I will jam roll this to make it a little more intense. If that's alright with you.
Okay. God damn it, Dunnan. What? Okay. Dunnan, you were just like almost splattered against the wall. Your vision went black for a moment. You fell to the ground. Feel cold. You feel warmth. As you Dunnan start to pick himself back up. One hand sort of push-ups. Gets back to his feet at 1 hit point. Roll a natural 20.
A
Oh
wall
my
is
God.
nothing for this dwarf. I'll get you.
God damn, that was so good.
Not only once, but twice. I'll have your head for this. I have no action left, or do I?
No, you get your full turn. The death save
get
is
my
at the
full
start of your turn. Yeah. So
Okay,
half your
with that-
movement is spent to stand up.
Mhm.
So you still have 10 feet of movement because you're
So I can't get there.
Yeah, because you have
Okay, then I will-
normally 25, correct?
Yeah, so I will touch my chest and will lay on hands 14 points.
Yeah, solid. Good use of the action. Are you gonna move?
Yes, just closer there. Don't wait for me. I'll get
Okay.
you.
Actually, you also blocked Hilnia from shooting you, so that worked pretty well. Hilnia's round. She's gonna spend that spell slot and sort of look at you, Siegfried. And as she pulls back the bowstring again, no arrow drawn. Dead either way. And releases another series of missiles. Okay. That is one at you, Siegfried, one at Aeolus, I believe. Let me grab my measuring tool.
Let's go.
No, she does. She can't get Aeolus. She can get Hellerast. Can't get Willem. So 2 at Hellerast. Yeah, 2 at Hellerast and 2 at Siegfried.
Oh no.
Yeah, everyone else is like line of sighted her. That is 6 points to Hellerast, and 6 points to you, Siegfried. 3 and 3.
Down to 1 hit point.
Oh no! All right, and Hilnia is going to drop the last 10 feet to the ground. And she's behind this pedestal at this point, Siegfried. The pedestal is like up a little bit, like about a foot step, and then it itself is about 4 feet in height. Like it's quite tall. So she has about half cover from ranged attacks from you now. She does drop low. She's futzing with something on the ground. It seems like. So come
Okay.
around to you.
Is that pedestal something I can run up to?
It's You can run around it. It's
Yeah.
this thing. Yeah.
Okay. So, now that she's on the ground, I'm gonna use my second wild shape to turn into a wolf,
Ooh. All right.
and I'm going in right at her.
I believe you have the wolf token already, right?
Yep, I do.
Alright. I'm gonna put the thing there.
I don't think the wolf has vision right now, though.
Let me
But I
double
believe
check.
wolves have night dark vision, right? I guess not. I always thought wolves had dark vision.
Wolf. No. I have hearing and spell. But I'm adding vision to token right now.
Okay.
Siegfried, I'm going to move your token to just a different area, so you'll still be able to see it, just zoom out, but that way your light isn't all throughout the area.
Yeah. I can't see anything as the wolf right now.
I know, I'm still working on it.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
You should be able to see now.
Transform, but you're blind.
Cool.
Yeah, perfect. Alright, that's your action to do that, correct? The wild shape?
I believe so.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna run where I last saw her
Okay.
and try and make an attack on her.
Well, it's your action to wild shape, so you could attack next round.
Yeah. So that is my turn.
And that brings us to Merisdell. Gets her legendary action back and her reaction. She needs desperately. She's going. She's grappled until your turn, correct, Willem? Yeah, end of their next turn. Yeah. Yeah, so she's still grappled this round. That's really good. She's going to make a sword attack on Hellerast with the Mindbane Longsword. That's a 23 to hit Hellerast. For 5 points of damage total. Hellerast has Relentless Endurance, though.
Love half orcs. So
Relentless Determination. So she goes to 1 hit point instead of going down. She does have to make a Constitution save. With the D4 penalty, I think Bless is going away. Bless is gone. Unmark it.
Alrighty.
Uh-huh.
Bless did a lot.
Oh, it did.
Alright. Hellerast did not go down. So she does get to make her Eldritch Blast attacks as well. These are going to be disadvantaged with people next to her. That is first against Hellerast, a 13, no good. Against Aeolus, a 17. Does that hit you?
Yep.
Okay, that is 7 points of force damage. And against Dunnan, a 24. She rolled 24 and a 25.
Yes.
Okay. That is 10 points of force damage. Alright. And that'll conclude Tidell's turn. As we come around to Willem. And the coil's finally uncoiling from her leg.
Willem will step around the pillar, first seeing done, and will say, "Oh, thank the shadows. You're back up, Dunnan. My family could not afford your drinking habits. You stay alive. And you, Mayor, you are so mean."
Okay.
I'll use my last.
Cast bolt.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Go for damage. That hits.
So do I just roll a?
So roll
4d8?
the 2d8 to start with, so that way you can set type. And then roll an additional 2d8 and 2d6.
Ooh, so that is either poison or force. Definitely force.
Force.
All right,
Okay.
so
And then roll 2d8 and 2d6. $19. 29 points of damage. Willem, how do you want to do this?
Yes.
I feel like much as she kept shooting Dunnan against the back wall, she will get flung into this wall.
I like him. Okay. So as you conjure this sort of meteor of undulating force and sort of sidelong, sort of almost like a waterbender trying to force her into the side, it just impacts her in the side of her form, like in her ribcage. For a moment, you hear a sickening crack before there's a second surge of this chaotic energy that follows the trail of the first one, pushing, like physically moving her form all the way, and a sickening crunch as her body breaks against the wall. She's down. Dunnan, you and Hellarest both feel the hex upon you fade.
Paint the shadows.
Nice shot, Willem.
Yes.
That's what you deserve, you bitch.
Perhaps somebody should place a blade. No, I've got this. And we'll walk over.
Well,
And
you
pull out
guys
his
don't hear Siegfried fighting in the distance.
sickle.
Bork, bork,
and we'll
bork,
just
bork,
slice
bork.
her throat.
I like it. That'll bring us to Hellarest. I don't need to Dell's stat block at the moment. Hellarest is looking around. She does not see where Siegfried went. And she's got one spell slot left. She's not going to spend it yet. She's going to come to here, start trying to gaze around, and she's going to hold a misfortune for whatever, if she sees any other hostile people. Aeolus, around to you.
Aeolus lets out a scream as Mayor Tadell's body hits the wall. And it's like an angered scream as his eyes focus on Willem as he turns back around and shouts out, "Hair's been dealt with. Do you yield?" And he's gonna step around to the door, looking around, and hold his action for if anyone comes within range.
Okay. Done. Around to you.
And I'll take a step and we'll shout over to the remaining half-elf. Say, your brother is dead and the mayor is dead, just like Eolus said. You can either die now or face the judgment of the people of Elderthorn and might survive in a prison. Make your choice. And I will rush towards her
Okay.
as a dash.
Last place you saw her was this column. You can't
Okay,
see her
then
currently. Yeah.
Okay, then I will hide behind this pillar. Just look around.
Threat, but defensive position. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. That brings us to Hilnia. There's a grating sound. All of you hear metal on stone. Siegfried, you see what she's been fuddling with. It's a heavy grate that she shifted off of the ground with a narrow porthole underneath as she tries to move into it. You do have an opportunity attack if you'd like to make one. As a wolf.
I will very much like to do that.
Oh, 22 hits.
And she needs to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Go for damage in the meantime.
Yep. 6 damage.
Okay. As she sort of looks at your form, like rushing in space, she shifts the grate. She tries to slide down it, and as you lunge with your jaws, they just clamp around her throat. You feel the sudden dead weight of her form there. Do you drop her, or do you hold on?
No, I hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and drag her back up.
Okay, make me an athletics check as a wolf.
Cool. Okay.
Easy enough. You take sort of a few paw steps backwards, get her formed to the point where like her hips are over, like back on the floor itself. Her legs still sort of half dangling a little bit, but she's not falling into the hole. And that's going to take the group of you out of initiative.
Where is Siegfried?
You'll,
Siegfried!
Let's
you'll
go
hear
at.
some dragging, and then you'll see Siegfried come back into the light, holding onto the neck of this elf, and I'll just drop in front of Aeolus like a dog, and then turn back into Siegfried and just like wipe my mouth on the back of my arm.
And
Ah.
let's take our mid-session break here.
Okay.
Let's call about 6
Jesus.
minutes back on 55.
Sure. Yeah.
That
Alrighty.
was clutch.
All right. Getting back at everything, though. A group of you assessing pretty grievous injuries at this moment. What are your immediate thoughts?
You were right, Olas. Got hit pretty hard.
Aeolus just walks over to the mayor and turns to the rest of you. Look through everything.
As you go over to the mayor, you notice that her body is much older than you initially thought. Very, very wrinkled skin. More so than even like when you had dinner with her 2 days prior. She's severely decomposed, and as you watch, her eyes are slowly sinking back into her head. Her clothes and gear seems to be not affected by whatever this rapid decomposition is, but her form is rapidly being destroyed.
Aeolus will scramble and will begin to look through all of her possessions and whatnot to try to find something.
Sure. Give me an investigation check, please.
Rana will do the same at the male half-elf. And seeing that Eolus just ignored him, he says, right, then suit yourself, and he will rub his forehead because he was forced to run against the wall twice. that bitch. My head hurts.
Alright, Aeolus, on, Merit Dell, she carries, a small pouch, on her hip. Contained within are coins. There's 37 silver pieces, 12 gold pieces, and 5 platinum pieces. She had a lot of money.
And the party loot isn't in roll 20.
Really?
Yeah, I can't find it.
Interesting. It's named Party Loot, correct?
Yes.
I don't see it either, actually. Like, I can't even search for it. I will pull up the information and recreate it, because I can just go back through and find the last source of it. In the meantime, just if you want to just add it to your sheet or add a note in Discord.
Yep.
So that way you have a record of it. But
Alright. So I find the 5 platinum, the 12 gold, 37 silver.
I put it in chat, yeah.
And is there any like
papers, there is some other things. Give me a moment. I'm making like a quick handout for now. Alright, there should be a party loot at the very top of the journal that you can at the very least edit for now.
Okay.
She also has a necklace upon her. The same one that was found early on in that first storage room. Although this one is much smaller. It's about an inch long inch in height and about 2/3 of an inch in width. So like it's a upright oval, like very figure 8. It's the same one that Willem is currently using as a bookmark. This one is very clearly made of metal, though. Give me you're not proficient with Smith's tools, correct, Aeolus?
I am not.
Okay, just give me a straight intelligence check then. You have disadvantage because you do have exhaustion at the moment.
Yep.
Not a problem, though. You do recognize this metal. Rare as it is, this is mithril.
Okay.
Give me a moment. I have to move my DM notes from this. There's a quick text on that one. And finally, she has a ring that's made of gold with a jade inset. All of you know what this is. This is the ring that's the station of her house. Pardon me. It's this ring that's a symbol of her station. Pardon me, in town as a mayor. She wears this on her right middle finger.
Okay.
So, it's worth the fact that it's jade and gold, but it is also it's a symbol of station, not usually a possession of the person wearing it. It's an ownership of the town, or it's like owned by the town, so to speak.
All right. Aeolus will pack all of that away momentarily. He's also going to pick up the longsword off the ground because he's not sure if that will also fade away or not.
So the longsword, it is doesn't look to have the same sinister appearance it was while she was carrying it. It is still a longsword. This longsword is a little bit narrower though. It does lack the versatile property. Other than that, it is a normal longsword.
Okay. How is everyone out? Like, are we able to glean anything off of the others?
I'm
Siegfried,
on it.
yeah, Siegfried's gonna ritually start casting detect magic.
And I'll try to find anything noticeable, like scrolls or sheets of paper within the pockets of the elves, half elves. Any hint, contracts, whatever.
The pockets of the half elves, of course.
Yeah.
Give me one moment. The sword she carries functions as the katana in the additional and setting specific weapons.
Okay.
It has a value of 40 gold pieces. It does have finesse. Okay. The half elves. They are not rapidly deteriorating as the others are. And Siegfried, you said you're casting detect magic, correct? I think Siegfried said he was.
Sorry, I zoned out for a second. What did you say?
You said you're casting detect magic, correct?
Yeah, I have to do it ritually though, so I think
Okay.
that's
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so and Dunnan, you're just pouring over their pockets. Let me double check this. Give me a moment, please. Neither of them have papers of contracts of any sort upon them, but the male half elf has emblazoned onto the back of his hand as you sort of remove one of his gloves. A twisting symbol in this sort of shimmering red energy. It's slowly pulsing with like this inner light, very very dim, but like noticeable. The female half elf has a similar symbol along, although part of it's been destroyed, along the side of her neck. Part of it was destroyed by Siegfried's mouth.
I will hack off the hand with the symbol from the mill.
As you get a good solid chunk through, and you now have a hand.
We better bring this. Maybe somebody knows the sign of whatever this is called.
It does not match the symbol that's on her, by the way.
They were most likely sellswords hired for doing the dirty work.
But are you going to cut off the head of the other one so you have the symbol on her neck, you creep? God, gross.
As the one who slit the throat of the Mia after she died, but
Well, that was just to make sure that she didn't come back and continue to throw you around. I can't afford your debts.
Don't you remind me. I'm still... Oh, my head still hurts. the great sword, the half elf
Yeah.
carried, is it noticeably worthy anything?
I mean, it is a great sword, so like it's worth the value of a great sword. It doesn't appear to have any magical symbols on it or of any sort. But like it's still a functional weapon at the end of the day. So you can add a great sword to the inventory as well.
Oh, I'll take that. Put it on my back.
The armor that the half-elven woman was wearing has been summarily destroyed. Alon, though, the man, is wearing half plate also.
I'll tell well, I'm concentrating on as well as say, Dunan, check if that half plate has the sign of the watch on it.
It does not.
Is it still usable, the half plate?
Yeah, it's not damaged beyond repair. It might need to be repaired a little bit, potentially resized, depending on who's going to try to wear it. But it's still good. The studded leather that she was wearing, though, the archer, totally destroyed by Siegfried's attacks. Beyond salvaging.
I'll totally take the half plate.
All right. Put a half elf sized half plate on your inventory. At this time, detect magic finishes. Firstly, the body of Alon, the male half elf, there is nothing magical that radiates except the thing that Dunnan just chopped off. The female half elf, she does not have anything magical other than the symbol upon her neck and the bow that she carries, or carried.
I will scoop up both of those.
Well, the brand is on her neck. It's a brand.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. They're magical tattoos of some sort. Seems like that.
Best guess. They appear to be. Let me double check this. Could you bear with me for 1 sec? Because you get the school of magic as well. They are enchantment. Both of them.
I call over Willem and I ask Willem to draw both the symbols the best as he can, even the damaged one. In his journal.
Oh. Good. Of course, sorry. I was spying where the mayor came out over here, and yeah.
That question mark box means nothing. Ignore it. Willem, as you open up your book to sketch these, you have a bookmark there. The symbols match that which is on the necklace, that wooden symbol necklace that you found.
Oh, look. They're not just similar, they're the same.
Lewis would like to walk over and he runs his hand along the symbol that is on the neck of the half elf.
Okay. That one's destroyed. Your fingers get a little bit bloody, but no big deal. Like parts have been torn away when Siegfried took out her throat.
Okay.
And then dragged her by her throat.
And is there anything that I would recognize?
Make me an Arcana check.
You throw up on your chair?
Nothing that sort of sticks in your head, Aeolus, but you get that same chilling sensation. That you did when you were hunting for the missing miners. It's not quite the same, but you feel that shiver run down your spine a little bit. Something unpleasant. sinister. But I
Seems-
can't really. It's more of a gut feeling than anything else.
Aeolus is gonna stand up. We have to bring these two back.
Additionally, Siegfried. There is a magical aura coming from the altar here. This one is conjuration. Look, not the whole altar. It seems like something upon it.
This specific object.
Yeah. So as you get closer, you see that the smoke has sort of dissipated and left, and now it's just a stone top, which has been stained by unknown things upon this. There's a few different things arranged in a rough approximation of 2 circles on this space here. There is a pile of different salts that sort of mounds up about 3 to 4 inches in height. There's a large oval sapphire that is set there, from which the aura is coming currently. There is a series of tools, darkened metal, like blackened steel, but sharpened to a razor edge. These appear to be tools used in butchering animals, most likely.
I put my hand out and I stop Willem and Dunnan from touching anything for a moment. And I say, Willem,
It's pretty.
can you just draw exactly how this is set up? So we remember
Oh, yes.
in the journal. And
Yes,
make
yes,
note
yes.
of the exact materials, the salt, the tools,
The
as much
so-
detail as you can.
The salt pile is in the center of the area, like the dead center of the altar.
What Primordian's balls were they doing here?
That
Is it
gem
like
there, it has
altar for sacrificing something or what?
Something villainous.
I think they're trying to bring something through. That sapphire has some magic on it. Conjuration. Seems like this may have been a gateway of sorts.
Great.
Did you want me to roll to do the check, by the way, or to?
To sketch everything in.
Yeah.
You can,
Yeah.
you can sketch and sort of just like label things bit by bit. And seem like the sort of shape that you get is like this weird sort of Venn diagram where this pile of salt is the thing that's taking up the overlapping area.
Okay.
Could I do an Arcana check to see if I've ever seen anything like this before?
You can try.
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to assist if possible.
As both you sort of stare at it, even for you, Siegfried, rack your brain, nothing comes to mind.
Well, whenever Willem is done drawing, he would make sure not to touch anything with his skin, trying to use like a cloth or something, but he would try and collect at least some of the salt,
Yep.
the tools, and the sapphire, and put them in separate little wrapping containers.
So as you sort of brush at the salt to try to get it in a container, part of the pile slides sideways and reveals that there's something buried within the salt. Quite small. There is a small bundle, not really wrapped, a small piece of muscle. It is a heart. Not more than about 3 inches in its longest dimension.
This is
No.
Oh no, you're not telling me.
It's been severely desiccated by its environment, so it's like almost mummified, due to all of the salt around it. But yeah, it's a heart.
Aeolus doesn't know it. Aeolus doesn't know it. I can't react.
I'll call Aeolus right away.
He,
Aeolus, I found something.
He'll stand up and walk over.
And I will point to the heart.
All of you that are gathered here can also make a medicine check for me, please.
Hello.
Yes?
In one of the dreams you had, the robed figure threw an infant off of the rock, right?
I think you may have had to step away. It sounded like an animal threw up on his end. when he was
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I also missed what you were saying. Yes, kitten
Aeolus.
grew up on the couch, no less.
Oh no. Aeolus just asked Willem to confirm that one of his dreams was an infant being sacrificed.
I'm personally drawing a blank on that.
You do recall that. That was...
Okay.
You saw
The first dream.
a robed figure throwing an infantile form from the glyph that the group of you just entered through.
Willem would probably look very pale and just be like, oh, yes, the child.
Aeolus is gonna stomp over to the withered corpse of the mayor and just continues to stomp on it.
At this point, about 15 minutes have passed since the fight. Body is bones. Like, first below, it just crumples, like a sandcastle that's been dried out.
Awesome. He's just continuing, like he's stomping. He's trying to grind it.
Kicking up dust that is the remnants of the bone at this point. There's nothing. But yeah.
I turned to Aeolus. You said something about Storm Surge. Do you think he's involved?
I don't hope for him. Because I'm gonna bring down everyone who was involved in this. Did the medicine check reveal anything?
Yes, I was going to come to that. The medicine check reveals the tools gathered here on the table are the tools that would most likely be used to cut open someone's skin and flay them. You suspect you know a victim. Know of a victim. But you are many hours away from Elderthorn.
Aeolus is going to turn to the group. And his expression hardens.
Sorry, could you repeat the last sentence, Spencer? I didn't get that.
You are many, many hours away from Elderthorn. A significant distance. Which gives you pause to the idea if Lander was actually injured here or elsewhere. That's a long way to travel, trying to hold in guts.
And if I recall correctly, right, when Siegfried was following the tracks originally, he saw two tracks that rode the half-elves, right? And then one that ended.
One that ended, correct.
So I turned to Aeolus. There's one person unaccounted for still. The third set of tracks. Chidel was behind us. Two half-elves made two of the sets. And then there was one that seemingly didn't traverse the land normally. There's someone else out there.
Well, as you guys got to the sigils on the trees, all of the tracks were gone. Also.
Okay, yep. Okay.
Like, one of them vanished briefly, like, pretty quickly. And the other two got to the sigils, and the sigils were the only thing after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just saying, Aeolus, there were three people at your house. not
That
2.
that is accurate, yes, based on what the information that you found.
So there's a possibility that there's still someone that can vouch. All right. Here's the plan. When we get back, no one, and I mean no one, mentions that we met the mayor out here. We do not mention tea dance unless we are asked.
But, 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 but why?
Can't trust the watch right now, Willem.
We effectively were suspected of Lander's murder. T-Dance died in our presence, and we did just kill the mayor.
What do we do with the ring? Her sword.
Ring. Let me handle it.
We tie it to a rock and sink it in a river.
If anything is mentioned, and if there are suspicions that rise, let me handle it.
Yes, sir.
Can I tell Ma and Da at least?
No. Anyone who knows of this will essentially have a target on their back. And if Storm Surge is in on this, you don't want your parents or the numbers to be at risk.
Don't even mention that about the numbers. They're way too innocent.
If they burn down my house because of just suspicions or that I had evidence, the more people we tell, the more people that are in danger, and that's not what I'm here for.
As Aola says that, Siegfried will turn to him and say, they took out the bat first on this investigation. She had to have been onto something.
And they took out T-Dance as well.
Yeah, you're right.
Whether T-Dance was in on it and then grew some sort of conscience. But when we get back to town, I need to meet with Storm Surge.
Of course, with support, right?
Of course.
We'll figure that out as we get back.
I put my hand on Willem's shoulder. You did well in that fight. Good job.
Thank you. And I didn't even lose my focus, and I did it all on my own. Did you see?
Willem, are you able to gather information on magical objects?
Well, I've played around with some, and of course the book, but I don't know past that. I can try.
Siegfried will say, can anyone use a short bow?
Valras will raise her hand.
But if you're talking about identify, by the way, and no, I have not answered, but yeah, taking it.
I will hand Haliras the magic short bow.
Okay.
So what is the plan now? We go back and tell what exactly? We found nothing.
We found
Lost the track.
We have the bodies of the half elves, and we have the murder weapon.
Yes.
We found the murder.
Nothing about the mayor, right?
Nothing about the mayor.
Right.
All right.
Oh, but we should check where the mayor came from first. We're adventurers, and of course, we have to finance ourselves through our findings. There could be treasure in there.
Has it occurred to you that maybe that's not the real mayor? Maybe she was the doppelganger, or I don't know.
No,
I mean,
no, it had
why
not
did
occurred to
you
me.
decompose that fast? I mean, that's unnatural.
Yeah.
While
Or she
I
had a
agree,
pact with some higher entities. Alright, I don't know.
Clearly, something was fueling its powers, or hers. Either way.
yes. As far as exploring, we need to rest.
But
We
treasure.
can agree on that.
We
But
have
treasure.
all gotten our asses kicked, Willem.
But treasure.
Hey, whose ass got kicked? As you see Siegfried just pockmarked with like explosive marks.
I kicked the ass of that
We-
wall twice. She's very afraid of me now.
We all have gotten our asses kicked
No.
in one way or another. Willem,
Yes.
Well, we can look when we rest a little bit. Come on, don't worry.
Promise.
I promise.
Come on, let's sleep in those beds we found earlier. Some
Cross your heart.
comfortable
Hope to
sleeping.
slay.
Of course.
yes. And when we move through the hallway, be careful of the fucking trap.
Dunnan, as you approach the door there, you notice there's a lever on this side of this door as well. Just to the north of you. Just like in the room with the 6 beds. It's currently in the up position.
Are you gonna pull it? I won't.
I'll
Because-
ignore the lever for now.
Okay.
Can I open the door, or is it
Yeah.
like...
Yeah, you can.
I'll just shuffle Willem by the lever. We'll pull it later. Come on, Willem. I need
I
some
was
of that
gonna
bacon.
pull it.
I need some of that bacon. Come on.
Aeolus is gonna stand by the lever.
Okay.
as they
And-
move.
Do not forget, go around. Not straight into the restroom, alright? Resting area.
Well, we'll step exactly where. Oop, not in there.
Alright, wonderful. Dunnan, as you step to here, your foot falls about 2 inches as the ground depresses underneath your weight with a solid chithunk. And
I reset the lever.
Okay, I would definitely avoided that.
okay.
But alright.
The gas is still flowing down the hall, though. The lever did go. Sorry, no, the lever was already up. Lever didn't move. Gas is flowing down the area. What are you doing?
Alright. I guess we
I
all
hate
look
this
at the lever.
place.
Was the filthy dwarf, not me.
Come on, hurry up.
Aeolus is going to be dragging the blood hunter, or is gonna like fireman carry it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do the same. with
Make
one
me an
of them.
athletics check with disadvantage, Aeolus. Okay. You managed to get there before the gas gets your feet.
And
Um,
I have the other elf with me.
Okay. I need an athletic checks with disadvantage from you.
That's one ability.
Okay, so lower DC.
Okay.
Easy enough. You had the lighter form, and you're more able than Aeolus by a long shot. You managed to get there before the acidic smoke touches your feet as well. Did any of you take the sapphire off the altar as well, or no?
Yeah, I wrapped it in some cloth and put it in my bag.
Okay. I didn't know if you, because you had said the salt, but I didn't know if you took the.
No,
sapphire
yeah,
as well.
I put in the notes. I just took a bit of each from the salt, the
Yeah.
tools, the sapphire, and the bit of the salt.
Okay, sounds good. Group, are you gonna long rest in this space?
Yeah, after eat
Yes.
some walking around bacon.
Most
Alright.
definitely.
Let me grab Hellra's sheet in that case.
Aeolus is also going to, as a part of his long rest, is going to focus on the long sword because he wants to know what it is before handing it off to anyone.
Okay.
Willem will pass out not only walking bacon, but some of that stew that was cooked and stored. Food for you. Food for you. Food for the filthy dwarf. Food for you.
You settle in for a rest. Uneasy, uncomfortable with the space in which you find yourselves, but a well-needed rest. Exhaustion settling in. An unknown number of hours pass for the group of you. Dreams, uneasy, but nothing notable. You all complete your long rest over this time. Go ahead and remove a level of exhaustion, because you do have the settings of comfort in this space. You're not in the wilderness. So you all go back to no exhaustion as you complete the long rest as well. Hellrast does successfully identify the Spellfire Shortbow and its components.
Nice.
Over the rest. That was that Arcana check. While attuned to the Shortbow, you can use an action to consume a spell slot you have and draw the bow back with magical energy. Upon release, the energy splits into multiple independent darts that functions as a magic missile spell. Treat it as if it was a cast using a slot one level higher than the level of the spell consumed to activate the ability.
Oh, that is clutch.
It is.
You do need to be proficient with shortbows to be able to attune to it, however.
Yep, I do not have that proficiency.
I'm going to drag you guys to the main page in the meantime, though. You don't really need to be on the map page.
Alright. So...
The longsword that the mayor carried is not magical.
Okay.
It seems like it was more fueled by her abilities than anything else.
Okay. Aeolus just takes it up. Is there anyone who would want to use this?
Siegfried, I need a intelligence save from you also. Thank you. Nothing. Continue.
I'd say we should probably leave that sword. If someone sees us with it, our whole story kind of falls apart, doesn't it?
She did conjure it out of thin air.
But I mean, we don't know who else knows that.
Also true. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was clear. She didn't draw it from a sheath or anything.
Yeah.
So it's not in a sheath.
No, there's no sheath for it.
Awesome. So Aeolus is gonna take one of the beetle monster legs, the long one that he has on him.
Okay.
And he's going to see if the blade fits inside of it.
Sort of. The needle monster's legs are a little bit more conical than they would need to be for this, but like it guards the tip of the blade at the very least. And it ends about 2 inches shy of the hilt, so the leg itself isn't quite long enough for the length of the blade, but it does a good enough job of protecting. But any dynamic movement, the blade's gonna fall back out of it.
Okay, so
Like-
it would need to be worked on.
Correct, like fashioned correctly, cut and broken, and then remade into the correct shape. But probably possible.
Okay, that makes Aeolus happy. He is going to keep the long sword, but he's gonna hide it underneath his coat.
Okay. Anything else anyone is doing over the long rest, or as you finish resting?
Well, since Willem just threw some comments about him being filthy done, is gonna tend to his beard and appearance, and Make himself look proper again.
Could I
Hey,
try and do an Arcana check on the sapphire? See if I
Sure.
gain
Make me an
anything.
Arcana check. As you pull it out, you will need to like handle it physically to examine it.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
do that.
Make an Arcana check then.
Once everybody's awake, Willem will weave together a most excellent breakfast for everybody. The feat that will give everybody a little bit of health. And would probably also comment about Dunnan's beard and give it a little tug playfully when serving. Not so filthy today.
So the sapphire has a pattern vaguely like this, very ovular, and not quite flat. It's probably got an inch in thickness. Ooh, nice. Good use of the chef. So that's an extra D8 hit points. Actually, it's a long rest. Roll me a D8, please. Everyone can start with 5 temporary.
Cool.
Good long rest. No pressing on time. Slept until you woke up type of rest. It's not bad. And good food to come off of it. Sapphire. As you handle it, Siegfried, take it out of the leather and imagine there's lanterns or torches the group of you have lit in this space at this point, especially for you who can't see normally. Sort of shift it and hold it up with your fingers to one of the lights. And you can see spiderwebbed out of the center of it in a sort of 8-shaped star. And all of the areas are sort of equidistant around the ovular shape of it. Very thin lines of runes. Very angled and choppy runes. What languages do you speak, Siegfried?
Let me double check. I believe it's just where are my language proficiencies? Druidic, Dwarvish, and Giant.
You do not recognize this script. Parts of it appear to be giant in origin, but not in ways that you would recognize. But you notice this script to yourself at the moment, sort of splayed out in the center of it. Let me
So I know it's Giant in origin, but I just can't read the dialect.
You know some of the characters are giant in origin.
Okay.
And it's splayed out in sort of this pattern. And when you look at it from the other side, you can see these symbols aren't inscribed on the surface of this sapphire. They are in the center. Like those little like glass cubes you can get that have the sand sculpture inside of it type of thing.
They're like laser etched.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. I'll just. I'll talk to Aeolus. Do you recognize these symbols?
Aeolus, what languages do you speak?
Common and infernal.
You do not.
I have no idea.
It says you also know Abyssal and Primordial. Is that true?
That's Willem.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's Willem. I'll ask Willem too.
Are you just passing around to everyone?
Yeah, I'm not gonna let them touch it, but I'll hold it up to the light for them.
Okay. Willem does not recognize it. Dunnan, do you have any other languages that have not been mentioned? I don't believe you do. Common, Dwarvish. Nope. Dunnan does not recognize it.
Oh, definitely not.
Hellerast. What languages does she speak? Helaras says, yeah, I recognize those. That's my tongue. These are Orcish. She doesn't know what they say. These just look like nonsense. But yeah, that's Orcish script.
Well, maybe
Why
we
would
need
the
to-
mayor have a sapphire with orcish runes or symbols on it?
I mean, a source of power is a source of power, regardless of the culture it comes from. But perhaps we should pay a visit to Gogren when we get back into town. He may have more insight on this.
Siegfried, I'm gonna drag you down and whisper for a moment also.
Okay.
Siegfried, as you are handling this gem, you blink bleary-eyed for a moment as sort of bright light is shining in your eyes. You see, you don't see the space around you anymore. You see sand dunes, quite tall, like mountains, shifting, flowing, like the slowest ocean you've ever seen. You wheel your vision about to another side of you, and you can see massive mountains off to one side. Gigantic in nature. And a small valley sort of set between some of these very large mountains, quite sheer in their face. You blink bleary-eyed, still trying to adjust to light, and everything's gone. And now you see two pieces of stone angled in a triangular shape, sort of resting against one another, set upon a stone wall. The light around you is green and brown. You're no longer standing in a desert, or you're in a glade. Stone wall in front of you looks natural. You blink again, still trying to sort of focus on what looks to be some writing on the stone, and once again, you're back in the space with your companions.
Okay. Could I try and write down what I saw on the stone before I forget?
Make me a history check, please.
Okay. History. No.
Nope. You know there was some symbols on the stone.
Okay.
And like as you squinted and tried to blink to just because you went from darkness here to bright light desert to this sort of middling like light, and you tried to sort of readjust your vision, that's when it cut back to here. So no luck.
Okay.
You know there was some degree of writing, but you don't know what.
Okay.
I'm gonna drag it back up. Alright, so Siegfried, that all happens in a split second.
Yeah, like you see Siegfried saying like this thing about Gogren, and then he kind of like just stops and freezes. His mouth kind of goes agape, and his like eyes dilate for like a couple seconds.
2
And then
seconds
he's like-
later, back to normal.
And you guys didn't see that, did you?
What do you mean?
See what?
I think Willem might not be the only one who's seeing visions. I saw something interesting. I was suddenly in a desert. There were sand dunes, and then there was a mountain range, a large one, gigantic mountains, and then between them there was a valley. Right? That's what you said, Spencer.
Small valley. Not cutting through, but like set into the range.
And there was a valley in the range, and then the scene suddenly shifted, and I was in a stone circle. There was green and brown light. There was some sort of there are two stone pillars and an altar of sorts, and there was writing on the altar. But when I tried to take a look at it, the vision ended. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it has to do something with the sapphire. He's holding it, talking to you guys.
Siegfried, you're able to accurately draw how the stone pillars were represented, vaguely like that.
Okay.
Does that mean anything to anyone?
Everyone except Siegfried can roll a history check.
And is this before or after the rest?
This is after long rest, so no more disadvantage. Willem Dunnan, none of it really sticks in your head. Aeolus, one thing does sort of ring a little bit of a bell for you, you think? You know of one, I guess you would call it major mountain range nearby. Could you bear with me for a moment?
And would that be the one that's at the edge of the logging camp that kind of...
Yes. So the logging camp is in the foothills of the range known as the Cloud Spine Mountains. The mining camp also is near the southern edge of it, closer towards the sea. But the logging camp is more into the foothills, higher ground, and north of you at the source of the Choral Run River. The mountains that Siegfried has described sound like the Cloud Spine Mountains, named for their incredibly sheer cliffs, giving them an air of impassability trying to travel west.
Those
By that
sound like...
logic, this vision could be on what's on the other side of the mountains.
I'm not sure.
We know the logging camp is on our side.
Now, Aeolus, you know that that mountain range runs north beyond your knowledge.
Right.
You have no idea how far north it runs.
I'll
not-
be honest with you.
Very deep into the continent, at the very least.
I've only done minor research out of the area outside of Elderthorn. I have no idea what lies beyond or further north of the mountains. But we should at least return to Elderthorn. And if this is something that we're going to have to travel for, we need to prepare.
Understood. Well, before we leave, I did promise Willem we'd check that secret entrance.
Page is
Yes,
loading.
you most certainly did.
Was the mayor so fast? She was
Stop moving.
here.
I'm trying to drag you over.
And now, Donna, don't step on any traps.
Just growls at William.
Oh,
Don't.
you needed some walking bacon? Here you go. You must be hungry.
As they investigate what they're investigating, Aeolus is gonna make a final pass around the altar.
Sure.
Just see if there's anything.
Give me a perception check. Yes, Dunnan. 1 platinum is 10 gold, which is and each gold is 10 silver, so 10 by 10. Alright, so there's this open area that the mayor had come through. The door was cleverly disguised such that it folds inwards against the southern wall here. Looks like when it closed, it would form a near seamless section of wall, very difficult to find. And we'll come to you in a sec, Aeolus. What are the rest of you doing with this hole here? Ignore the question mark that was on the map. I didn't add that.
Anyone good at checking for traps? I need to look at Dunnan.
Here. Though I am not done them, obviously.
Well, let me see. Siegfried is going to cast Owl's Wisdom on himself.
Okay.
I do have good investigation, so I would probably be good to.
Yeah,
Help
yeah.
with nothing else.
I'm gonna look in and just do a perception check.
Sure, make me a perception check with advantage.
Yep.
Alright. So you're looking as you go?
Yep.
Okay. So when you step in, your second step in, off to the corner of your vision, you see a glowing symbol that was behind the door. Willem, you watch as Siegfried takes 2 steps inside and then face plants onto the ground, out cold.
That looks unpleasant.
I'll whisper to you, Siegfried.
I wonder what it was. And we carefully look in and probably nudge Siegfried with whatever I have to nudge people with. My nudging stick.
Siegfried's 10 feet away. You don't have a 10-foot stick on you.
Says who? Okay, I don't. You're right there. But I would still try to investigate around the area.
Sure. Take a look around and give me an investigation check.
I do have a spear. That sounds like a nudging stick to me.
Yeah, you still need to be next to Siegfried for that. Spear's not a reach weapon.
Perception, right?
Investigation's fine also.
Or investigation, sorry.
Yeah, nothing seems untoward, although Siegfried definitely fell over from something. So you're sort of taking a look around this area. Moment passes. Siegfried, after a minute, the spell wears off on you.
I would have also, by the way, alerted everybody else, but
I'm alright. Seems like something to put people to sleep.
I mean, it happens. I was about to use my nudging stick on you.
Oh, there's a whole room over here.
Willem, did you trip something again?
Not me.
All right, before we
I learned from my experiences.
make someone else trip something. Before we come to the room for you, Siegfried, Aeolus, you and Helaras taking a look around the altar. There is still the heavy steel or heavy iron grate that Hilnia had tried to move and drop into. It's about 3 feet in diameter. 3 foot square, pardon me, in this space right here. And it just drops away into blackness. You don't see a ladder or anything of that sort, but it appears to be some type of drainage, maybe? You're not sure.
Okay. Aeolus, thinking that it's going to be more difficult to head out this way or try to carry bodies through, is just going to look up at Helaras and just slowly shake his head. And we'll wait for the group to finish their investigation.
Siegfried, Dunnan, and Willem. As you peer into this room, it contains dozens of jars containing fluids, what appear to be preserved organs, specimens of various creatures and things unknown. Many different types of things represented in this eclectic collection. There's a bookshelf with several large tomes along one side, where the crates are, roughly. There's no crates. There's a gap in the shelf where the dust that has accumulated in front of some of the books has been shifted and is not present, indicating like a book has been removed from this space recently and not put back. There is a door off to your right side.
Willem and Dunnan run in there. I stop them before stepping in the room, and I'll yell out, Aeolus, you should probably get in here. And I'm going to cast Detect Magic just with a spell slot.
Okay. Burn a spell slot. Nothing in this room radiates as magical.
Okay. No weird sigils to put people to sleep or anything like that?
None that you recognize, no.
Okay.
Or sense.
And the place with the book missing, does that match the book that Aeolus had in his house? Like, do you think it would have fit in there?
Aeolus did not have a... you mean Lander's diary?
Lander's diary, yep.
No, it does not.
Okay. Yeah.
Aeolus is gonna take a quick pass through all the books.
Um,
Open them, see what they are.
You parse through them. One moment, please. Make me an intelligence check, please. Adjust your horror save modifier to -2. As you do.
Okay.
As you parse through the books, there's writing upon each page, but as you sort of focus on it, the writing like sort of shrinks and fades and twists, and you're staring at a blank page. You flip to another page, blank, blank, blank. Something was there moments ago. You grab another book, hurriedly go through it, nothing. Grab another. Blank tomes.
Aeolus just shakes his head real quick. The writing of the first one disappeared.
Do you feel anything in this room?
Aeolus is going to look to Siegfried, and he's gonna look at the preserved parts. Does this seem close to what he was raised on? Like the practices?
No, not in the slightest.
He just looks at everything and goes, I have no fucking clue. Whatever this is, it reminds me of the unexplainable things that we've encountered. And he has his hand resting on the needle monster leg.
Yeah, are any of the components in these like things in the jars look like they could have come from a needle monster?
Make me a nature check. None appear to sort of match the anatomy of the creature that you fought. There's some things that you can't quite place, like you don't know if it's like a dead fetus of something or like an organ of something else or some combination therein. But none of them appear to be anything of like that sort of hard-bodied creature. No, and of note, none of the things in jars seem to have exoskeletons of any sort.
I have no idea what's going on here, Aeolus. It seems like we're connected now.
We should get back.
There is a door to your right also.
Yeah. And I don't know if Willem answered or anything, but Sigurd has like, Willem, do you feel anything from the books or the jars or?
I would love to take the book, but did not the information melt away?
I mean, if you feel like it doesn't seem like anything's written on it anymore, right, Aeolus?
Aeolus will hand the first one over to Balaam.
Yeah, well, it's a blank book.
Does it remind me of my book that I carried around from my childhood that did the same?
It doesn't seem to. Give me a history check.
Of history. One moment. Boop.
I mean, like, it's got similar weights. It's about the same height. But if you're, like, as you try to remember, you're pretty sure yours wasn't bound like this. These do appear to be different types of tomes, though, so it doesn't look like they're a set, or anything like that. So it's tough to tell. I mean, it's about an average size book, about 1.5 inches thick, and it's just blank parchment. They're all bound in various types of leather.
How many of them were there again?
There's 3 of them here.
And none of them have information in them now?
None of them have any type of markings whatsoever contained within.
I would be interested in taking these.
I think we should hold on to them, yes.
Alright, add 3 books and the word undercroft to the inventory.
Oak.
Well, someone should check for traps and open this door, and so we can get home.
Who's going for it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll do it.
Alright, give me an investigation check, please.
As of note, Aeolus will take the first book back from Balaam
Okay.
that he saw the characters in.
Got it. Siegfried does not appear to be trapped, does not appear to be locked.
Okay, I will open it up.
Alright, it swings out towards you into this room. As you do, you're greeted with a room that the light that you probably have a torch going,
Yep.
since you need to be able to see somehow, is reflected off of something set into the floor of this room. Contained into this room upon the walls is carved circles that give you a reminiscent feel of bubbles. Very thin and distant from each other at the bottom of the room, and as they scale to the 12-foot ceiling of along each of the walls, they become thicker and thicker, overlapping each other, giving you this feeling of sort of sinking while you stand in this room. Feels sort of catches in your throat a little bit. Set into the floor of the room is a circle of what appears to be crushed coral. Like larger chunks, but like in the larger areas. Forming this beautiful circle with runes carved into it. It's blue and pink coral, and that has this sort of phosphorescent property. As soon as the light of your torch lands on it, and you sort of shift around holding the torch by the wall, it sort of has the coral itself has this sort of glow-in-the-dark effect where it retains some of that light that's been shed and radiates it back out.
Do I feel anything with detect magic?
You do. There is an aura of conjuration from the circle.
Well, this seems a little out of my pay grade, Aeolus. I have no idea what's going on here. Can I do an Arcana check to see what I
Certainly.
notice?
Yeah, go for an Arcana check. That's intelligence. You do not have advantage.
Yep. Well, I think my owl's thing went down because I went to sleep.
That's true. It did anyway.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, so because I can't concentrate while I'm sleeping.
Correct. You do have a theory about what this is. You're pretty sure that this is a circle of teleportation. You do not know if it's active or not. Oh, and you cast detect magic. You wouldn't have had advantage anyway. That would have changed concentration anyway.
Yeah.
So So based on the detect magic and you racking your brain a little bit, you feel fairly confident that this has been a permanently inscribed circle of teleportation.
Well, this appears to be the circle of teleportation. I guess we know now how the mayor got in here. Do you think we should try and go through it, Aeolus?
I don't think everyone should try immediately. Aeolus is going to take the book out of his pouch.
Sure.
And put it in Willem's hand. And he's going to step past Willem, and he's going to put his hands onto Siegfried's shoulders, and he looks in. Does he see the bubbles and the coral and everything?
Yeah, it's all carved along the wall.
Alright.
Definitely feels... the room feels stifling. Like you're sinking into water.
Aeolus is going to look to Siegfried. If anything happens, shut the door. And he's going to hold his breath, and he's going to step onto the teleportation circle.
As you cross the threshold of this ring of runes, the light of the torch flickers sharply as Siegfried tries to move it around so you can get some better sight of what's is about to happen. Your foot crosses the threshold, stepping in. The second one crosses your entire form over the circle of teleportation. Your footsteps echo upon the room. Nothing seems to happen.
Aeolus breathes a sigh of relief, because he didn't want to be teleported underwater.
As you do that, the exhale is comforting.
Well, I don't know how to work it.
And
Let's make our way back.
I think we'll end the session here and pick up at this point next time.
Just one more quick question.
Yeah.
Since I know it's a teleportation circle, would I know that defacing the circle would deactivate it?
You have a suspicion that it might, but you're not sure how to accurately do it because it is a magical creation.
Okay, cool. Like I wouldn't think that just like scraping with a dagger would do it. It'd probably need to be something more.
Something significant to damage a magical creation. Correct.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Cool. That's all I wanted to know.
We'll pick up there next time.